American-made British F-35s have taken off and landed on the HMS Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier for the first time. This exercise was undertaken as part of advanced trials with the U.S. military. The British Ministry of Defense said the F-35s will undergo rigorous mission planning and flying exercises off the east coast of North America. The MOD has released several images. This follows successful trials last year with U.S. military's F-35s, where around 500 takeoffs and landings were conducted over an 11-week period at sea. As per plans, the fighter planes will be jointly manned by the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy and can operate from land and sea. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why the deployment of F35B Lightning on HMS Queen Elizabeth will be game-changing for the British military. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. The tests are part of Westland 19, and the aim of the trial is to make sure that the F-35s work with HMS Queen Elizabeth. The idea is to have an end-to-end testing to ascertain that the two platforms are properly integrated and F-35s can be deployed from the HMS Queen Elizabeth seamlessly going forward. The tests involve mission planning, using automated weapon handling system of the carrier to load weapons, undertaking aerial missions, and debriefing on completion. Defense Secretary Ben Wallace said, "The Lightning aircraft operates with a cutting-edge design. It's the first jet to combine radar-evading stealth technology with supersonic speed, as well as the ability to land vertically." Mr. Wallace added, "Given its ability to conduct missions both from land and sea, the jets act as a formidable spine to the carrier strike capability." The UK currently owns 18 aircraft, with an additional order placed for 30 jets. First to land on board, Wing Commander Adam Curd, Royal Air Force, said, "The trials will be led by the Joint Royal Navy, Royal Air Force 17 Test and Evaluation Squadron from the Air Warfare Center. The squadron will be operating alongside personnel and aircraft from the UK Lightning Force, based out of RAF Marham. The UK is expected to declare initial operating capability for carrier strike by the end of 2020. The first operational deployment for HMS Queen Elizabeth 617 Squadron and a squadron of U.S. Marine Corps Lightning jets is due to take place in 2021. Air Officer Commanding No. 1 Group, Air Vice Marshal Harvey Smith, Royal Air Force, said, "Westland 19 marks an extremely significant milestone on our 10-year journey to establishing our renewed carrier strike capability. Bringing our own Lightnings on board HMS Queen Elizabeth for the first time gives us the opportunity to conduct critical operational testing. With the Royal Navy and Royal Air Force operating so closely together, these are incredibly exciting times for embarked combat air." The Queen Elizabeth class is a class of 2 aircraft carriers of the United Kingdom's Royal Navy. HMS Queen Elizabeth, the lead ship of the class, has been commissioned in 2017. The second, HMS Prince of Wales, is scheduled for commissioning in 2020. Each will displace 65,000 tons and has a length of 280 meters. They'll carry around 1,600 personnel on board. They're the largest warships ever constructed for the Royal Navy, and the second largest non-US Navy warships after the Yamato-class battleships. The cost of the program is £6.2 billion. Engine configuration of Queen Elizabeth class is as follows: 2 Rolls-Royce Marine Trent MT-30 36 megawatt, 48,000 horsepower gas turbine engine. 4 Wärtsilä 38, 11.6 megawatt, 15,600 horsepower marine diesel engines. It has a speed of about 26 knots or 48 kilometers per hour and a range of 10,000 nautical miles or 18,520 kilometers. The ship's radars include BAE systems and Thales S-1850M for long-range, wide-area search. The BAE Systems Artisan 3D Type 997 maritime medium-range actively electronically scanned array radar and a navigation radar. BAE claims the S-1850M has a fully automatic detection and track initiation that can track up to 1,000 air targets at a range of around 400 kilometers or 250 miles. For self-defense, it has Phalanx CIWS 30mm DS-30M Mark II guns and miniguns. HMS Queen Elizabeth will generally carry 24 F-35B fighters, as well as 14 Merlin anti-submarine and utility helicopters. But in wartime, the carrier could carry up to 36 fighters. HMS Queen Elizabeth will have Lockheed Martin F-35B Lightning II as its main strike aircraft. The F-35 is a family of single-seat, single-engine, all-weather stealth multi-role fighters. The fifth-generation combat aircraft is designed to perform ground attack and air superiority missions. The F-35B, which is a short takeoff and vertical landing STOVL variant, is the first to combine radar-evading stealth technology with supersonic speeds and the ability to work with carriers. F-35 is developed from the ground up to be stealthy. Its external structure is designed to deflect signals away from the emitting radar, which makes it hard to detect or track. This is done by having no sharp edges or protruding elements, and having a smooth external curvature. Also, it has a coating of RAM, radar-absorbing material, that reduces the number of signals getting reflected. F-35 has low radar cross-section, RCS. Against X-band radars, it's stealthy from the front and rear. Against S-band radar, it's stealthy from the narrow front aspect. Against L-band radar, the limited reduction is achieved from direct front. Classified techniques have also been used to reduce the heat signature of F-35. This thermal profile management of the jet makes it difficult for infrared, IR, homing missiles to target it. It's genuinely a very low observable LO platform, unlike some of its rivals. For example, Chinese Chengdu J-20 got exposed last year. Indian pilots on the Russian-made Su-30 MKIs from Indian airspace managed to detect and track the new Chinese jets when they were conducting flight training over Tibet. British F-35Bs will be armed with several weapons like Meteor, ASRAAM, Paveway 4, Spear 3, to name a few. Meteor missile is currently considered to be the most potent beyond visual range air-to-air missile. Britain's Defense Minister Gavin Williamson had revealed earlier that the country's new aircraft carrier, HMS Queen Elizabeth, will go to the Pacific on its first operational mission. Though Williamson did not specify what parts of the Asia-Pacific the carrier would transit, but all developments point to the South China Sea. In this context, it's to be remembered that Royal Navy amphibious assault ship HMS Albion navigated close to the Chinese-claimed Paracel Islands in the South China Sea last year, and on that occasion, Beijing called it a provocative action. In a speech to the Royal United Services Institute think tank in London, Williamson said that the HMS Queen Elizabeth would also make appearances in the Mediterranean and the Middle East, apart from the Asia-Pacific. Williamson added, "The UK is a global power with truly global interest. We must be prepared to compete for our interests and our values far, far from home." He added that it ventures into a region where China is developing its modern military capability and its commercial power. Williamson said that Britain would consider permanent new bases in the Asia-Pacific and Caribbean to exert power globally. It's clear that HMS Queen Elizabeth deploying F-35s armed with Meteor missile will be a game-changer for the British military.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.